Teach the babies.
And the adults too.
Good morning, good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. And this is,
Another day, Freestyle Friday.
yes, and I'm Qiana.
And I am the intellectual gangster, El Profesor, your brother Donnie.
Yes, and we are brought to you by the New Image Project, better known as
See that?
And we are
Defining
what is
cool,
because
cool, and smart
is
the new
gangsta, baby.
and always has been.
So you was finna do a little remix in that because
Listen,
I
I
had
know.
you add the
Yeah.
extra cool in there.
That's because we extra cool, especially this morning, and it's 66 degrees when we came in.
Yeah. So today wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Walking out. Whew. So it's been some cold days.
So you've been chilly?
Yeah.
This week.
We
are real Floridians, aren't we?
Yeah, I've been chilly this week. As a matter of fact, that we talked about that. We even made chili.
Okay, listen, it's chili time, right?
Right.
Isn't it time to crack out the chili?
Right. And so Brother John was like, wait, already? I'm like, we live in Florida, so we don't know when the cold ain't gonna be here no more. Today is cold, tomorrow it's not.
Right.
So why not?
I love those kind of traditions though, when we cook and we integrate our cooking in with the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows you how connected we are with Mother Earth. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99.1 FM, WJM 99 Jams, The Berg, Carafesta Radio. We are your get up and go breakfast show. Get up and go and get up and show us some love. Thank you so very much for inviting us into your homes and your cars, wherever you may be listening to this broadcast. You are ours and we are yours. Feel free to call in to the station and join us at 727-637-2416 and follow us on Facebook and on YouTube.
Yes, I was doing another podcast and they say on this other podcast, mm-hmm. right? You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with us.
so we are thankful for that. We're definitely thankful for that one.
Yes. So good morning.
And we love our community.
Oh,
we love our community
wholeheartedly.
So much so that we like to be the voice for our community. As King Jab is the voice of the people.
Yes.
And tune in every Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. 99.1 for King Jab, the voice of the people. Do not miss that show. Our programming goes across the board. So our programming is conclusive. So we are so very thankful for everyone who tunes in.
Yeah. Baby.
You know it. So you said good morning from around the world?
Yeah. Look.
We got a new place, Q.
Okay, let's go.
Vietnam.
Okay.
Of course, in Vietnam, people are multilingual. They speak French, so they may say
bonjour.
That's your thing. We got to go to Montserrat, Paris, Martinique, Guadeloupe, or someplace together, so I can actually hear you actually speak French in the marketplace. But in Vietnamese, they say ciao bang song.
Ciao
bang song.
Ciao bang song.
Yeah, ciao bang song. Ciao means hello.
Ciao.
Bang means period.
Bang.
And saw means of the morning.
So ciao bang song.
Ciao bang song.
Okay. Good morning, Crystal.
We say ni hao in China. We
ni
say
hao.
Ohio in Japan.
Ohio.
We say namaste in South Asia.
Namaste.
We say and listen, our hearts and minds, and hopefully if we may get a chance, we may give a little more levity on it. Mm-hmm. Goes out to our family in the ancient Near East, Northeast Africa, place that they call Israel and Palestine. Mm-hmm. And we say Shalom Aleichem in Hebrew, and we say Salamu Alaikum in Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
So that covers that area.
Yep.
Germany. Have you ever been to Germany?
No.
You got to go. Germany is amazing. Bavaria.
My nephew's in Germany.
Oh, how does he like it?
I think he likes it.
It's cold. It gets cold in Germany. Yeah. So in Germany they'll say Guten Tag or Guten Morgen.
Right. Guten Tag. Good morning.
They'll also have cover the Dutch, and then you go to again mainland France, and they say
bonjour.
That's it. Why you got to sing it like that? You got to sing bonjour like that?
I don't know, because you just seem like you just eat croissants and drink coffee or tea, and it just seems it's just like a little sing in your voice every time you're there. Bonjour.
Hop over to the Irish Isles. They'll say top of the morning.
Right.
Top of the morning to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then over to our Spanish speaking nations, they will say buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Hola bueno. In Kiswahili, they would say habari gani.
Let's give them one more that we might have not said before. You got one more?
Well, yeah, pull one out. You
I don't know.
find me a country.
No. I don't know.
What? Let's go for the Beanie Man.
Oh, okay.
Let's go for Beanie Man and say wagwa.
Wagwa. Yeah, so I'm so excited about. So I mean, I don't know if our peeps. Good morning, Qiana.
Good morning.
Has seen the advertisement. The Tampa Bay Breakfast Club will be having Beanie Man on Wednesday.
One and only world-renowned girls damn sugar Sinsima.
I'm drinking rum and Red Bull. Yes.
Nah.
So y'all listen. Wednesday, I'm so excited about this interview.
Right. You made this happen. You are our celebrity connect. The celebrity plug herself, Sister Q. Do your thing.
Well, thank you. You know, it takes a team to do this. I'm glad that we're able to bring him on here, especially since he's been out for so long. He's dropping a new album.
Okay.
I'm almost thinking that he was, I want to say he was nominated for a Grammy this year.
Fantastic.
He has some new music out. So he's going to Skype in an interview with us on Wednesday at 8 a.m. So make sure that you're here with us.
Please tune in. Do not miss this. You won't get this anywhere else. And it really shows the international appeal of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. It shows, that we are much bigger than this area that they call Tampa Bay.
Right. Because, some people but we are a lot bigger than just Tampa Bay.
That's
a lot of our guests come in from everywhere.
Uh-huh.
We have people from Orlando.
Yep.
That comes in, people from Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
The range is very broad.
Yeah, definitely.
That comes in, even though we say this is the bird.
Yeah, well, that's our home, but it's our throne, but it's not our home. We're everywhere. We're in everyone's home, and we have international appeal, and that's something that I don't think people may understand just by our name. They don't understand that we have an international reach. We go literally all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
we do.
We are thankful for that, and we're thankful for the team.
Yeah.
And it's the best team in the world.
So yeah, and you know what? It's Freestyle Friday, y'all.
It is.
Right. Freestyle, y'all know the number 727-637-2416. If you don't, I just gave it to you. Again, it's 727-637-2416. Again, call us. Let us know. Join in our conversation.
Please
we like to talk to our peeps. Yes. As Qiana would say. Hey peeps.
And don't ever doubt that this is your radio show. We represent your voice, we represent your perspectives, and we represent the entire perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we want to always make sure that our listening audience, our viewing audience, and everyone knows. Right. That this is us and we are you. So there is no division between the two. Mm-hmm. Right on.
So do you want to get into it? Go ahead. You want to ruffle feathers? Do you want to just start out ruffling feathers?
I think that part of what I am is the feather ruffler. Mm-hmm. I was reading one time about my date of birth, November 4th, being the birthday of the icebreaker, the person who was just born to be controversial, but has to learn how to not be controversial for controversy's sake. And I think that that's something that comes with maturity, but I also think that gives me and my character a certain roughness that's necessary to smooth things out. Sometimes you need something rough to smooth something out, right?
Sometimes.
I mean, that's
sometimes.
Yeah, you have to rough sandpaper something to get it smooth, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that sandpaper.
And sometimes you sandpaper it too much. And then
That's why it's always good to have a team. Yeah. But yes, I do. Indeed. If I can just take a very brief moment to address a pressing concern that's been not just my personal concern, but the concern of so many individuals in the community that we live, the immediate community that we live, the Tampa Bay area, St. Petersburg, South St. Petersburg, particularly because the character of South St. Petersburg is much different from the character of other places. We are an ethnic enclave that has its own cultural acuity, has its own cultural uniqueness. Mm-hmm. And almost to be here is to understand it. If you're not from here, it's like when Kelly Rowland told Cheyenne, I need you to bring all that St. Pete with you. You know what I mean? So St. Pete has always had a fighting history. St. Pete has always been a place for fighters, um, for people who want social justice and people who want social change. But sometimes when individuals can disconnect themselves from the geography of St. Pete, they can disconnect themselves from the ideology of St. Petersburg. I want to address some op-eds that were penned by our former chief of police and former deputy mayor, Mr. Goliath Davis, uh, from his perch in Tallahassee, that were very controversial and at times appeared through interpretation to be even petty in their accusatory nature of the education system in Pinellas County, in St. Petersburg, and in South St. Petersburg particularly, and the leadership in those positions. I thought long and hard about how I would address these things. I really thank the people for giving me the opportunity to be a voice of dissent.
So before you go on,
Go
if
ahead.
people don't know Goliath, so he did an article on Lakewood High School, condemning Aaron, the principal, Aaron Savage. Last year, he kind of, in the article, it felt like an attack on her, right?
That was just one.
Yes. Oh no, I'm just kind of getting the people the background.
Definitely,
so yes, and then name some others.
And then he did another article about Principal Jennifer Gill,
right,
at Boca Sega High School,
which is another black principal, right?
Yeah, Afro Latinx.
Okay, go ahead.
Or Afro Indigenous.
Okay.
Then he did another article on Principal Barry Brown.
Okay, at
Gibbs Jonathan Gibbs High School, which is a foundational high school in St. Petersburg.
Okay, go ahead.
And then he did an additional article
on Bear
about Chief Danica Jones, who is the chief of transformation and works as an assistant to the superintendent of Pinellas County Schools.
Okay.
Very interesting, because all of the principals that were castigated by former and fired deputy mayor and fired police chief Goliath Davis were principals of South County schools, principals of the schools that are right here in the predominantly quote unquote marginalized communities.
But so Gibbs, Lakewood, Boca Ciega.
Gibbs, Lakewood, Boca Ciega.
Okay.
But the interesting thing is that he leapfrogged somehow the North County schools in Pinellas County and went right to the district office.
So we didn't hit St. Pete, which is right around the corner. Literally right around the corner.
It's right there in Representative Roussan, Senator Roussan's district. So I mean, it's there. This is a neighborhood school, or Northeast, or Hollins High School, or in Bayshore,
Northeast,
Bayshore High School. All of these are Northern County schools.
Okay, go ahead.
Technically, these are Northern County schools, right? So, I saw this as an opportunity to be what I am, which is I'm a teacher, I'm an educator. Before I'm anything else, I'm an educator. And I saw this from a lens of mercy. And it's very merciful to teach someone, because it's very easy to allow a person to remain in their ignorance. But when you have mercy for people, you teach them. I didn't want to debate the topic, because I only debate what equals. Everyone else I teach. So because I feel unequaled in this assessment, I feel like school's in session. So let's very briefly move to the way we understand class and how class works in society. There's a very good book by Paulo Freire called Pedagogy of the Oppressed. If you can find it, get it. It's a fantastic book on how the oppressed are taught, how the oppressed learn, and how the oppressed learn to overcome their condition of oppression. Freire, though, speaks about a certain group of individuals. These individuals are members of the oppressor class who seek to join the oppressed in their liberation struggle. And they move from one polar place of the contradiction to the other. Now, they've always played a fundamental role in the history of struggle, but it seems like as they cease to be exploiters, or as they cease to be indifferent spectators of exploitation, and they claim to move to the side of the exploiters, they almost always bring with them the marks of their origin. They don't ever leave their prejudices. They don't ever leave their deformations. And most importantly, they don't ever seem to be able to shake a lack of confidence in the people's ability to think, to want, and to know. Now, these individuals seek almost to grace the oppressed class with generosity.
Mhm.
But that generosity is the same toxic generosity as the original oppressors. I'm going to say this because I really want you to understand this. The generosity of the oppressors is nourished by an unjust order. And that unjust order must be maintained in order to justify that generosity. Listen to me well. The generosity of the oppressor
Mhm.
is nourished by an unjust order. And that unjust order can't be changed for that generosity to stand. The order can't be changed. The order must be maintained. And they must have that same toxic generosity to the oppressed. Generosity, not change. I'm going to give you this because I stand over you. I'm not going to change the conditions. In fact, I'm going to do this from 500 miles away,
Right.
even when I have the opportunity to do it in your face. See, real revolutionary change, real revolutionary humanist character
Mhm.
is identified by the trust that the change agent has in the people.
Right.
But see, when you say I don't have any trust in the people who are on the ground, the boots that are on the ground, when you sow seeds of distrust in the people themselves, then you don't want change. You want reform to your own petty bourgeois class desires.
So-
and this is what happened. Go, keep going.
Go. So, question: what did he say about Barry Brown? What was his complaint?
Well, let's be general first before we get specific. Is that cool? Let's be general before we get specific. See, there requires something whenever you want to teach the oppressed. Whenever you want to bring education and learning to the oppressed, something is required of you, and that is what's called criticism, self-criticism. That's called an examination of what you are and what you've been, especially when you come from the oppressor class. When you come from being the oppressor's attack dog and you want to work with the oppressed, you have to continually fix yourself every day to fight those preconceived notions that you bring into your job and that you try to move in your job with. You see, when you consider yourself the sole proprietor of wisdom. In other words, you know how things should run, and you are the only one who knows how things should run, even though you're away from the problem. That is the problem.
Mhm.
One of the characteristics of the oppressed is that they see the oppressor
Mhm.
as someone whom they want to be. They always want to strive for that because they think that the boss is the only one who can make things work, when they don't realize that it's the people that give the boss his power. You have to understand the twisted thinking that goes into someone who works to oppress other people and then tries to all of a sudden execute a face about and become the individual that grades the oppression. I won't be long, but I have to be strong. I want us to really understand this. There's a certain pettiness that comes with ruling class ideology. And that pettiness is not specific. See, it can be applied to anyone. It can be applied to Barry Brown. It can be applied to Jennifer Gill. It can be applied to any principle that doesn't fit into that bourgeois mold.
Mhm.
Because these are individuals, the critics, are the ones who believe that they actually occupy positions that should be aspired for. But they do that because they understand that the poor, the oppressed, are usually self-deprecating. They don't see themselves as individuals having the agency to do anything in particular. They see themselves as failures. They see themselves as products of failure factories. They see themselves as products of failed schools. They see themselves as products of failed homes. They see themselves as products of single parent homes. They see themselves as products of individuals who are given two choices: death or jail. And because individuals know that, it is a sick manipulation tactic to come in then and try to levy an opinion on what's actually being done from a protected space. You are nothing more then, if that's the case. See, you're not an agent of change. Then you're just,
Agent of chaos.
come on now, you're an empty suit. You're a former deputy mayor. You're a former top cop. But you still move with the manipulation of a politician, of a deputy mayor, of a top cop. The good thing about the people is that the people, when introduced to their power, will never return to a position of subservience again. It's important that at all stages of liberation, and listen, ignorance is oppression. I think we can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because oppression just means having the lack of choices. So the fight against ignorance that our teachers do, that our administrators do, that our principals do, that our parents do, is a liberation struggle. It's not just books. It's not just reading, writing, and arithmetic. You're freeing people now from the bondage of falsehood. You're freeing them from the bondage of ignorance. And in that stage, see, this is important, folks. And I won't be, put me on the clock, I'll be 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
But in this stage, it is important that the oppressed be able to see themselves in their liberators. Students who look like Caprice Edmonds need to see Caprice Edmond.
Right.
Students who look like Barry Brown need to see Barry Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Students who look like Jennifer Gill need to see Jennifer Gill. And students who look like Chief Danica Jones need to see Danica Jones. See, students who look like Raphael Robinson need to see Raphael Robinson. Students who look like Amber Robinson need to see Amber Robinson. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. What they don't need is outside agitation, criticism without self-criticism, and petty bourgeois solutions to radical problems that exist in this city. You see, there's a dependence that is created from this ruling class, and it's a dependence that's created for the purposes of manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you create a dependence for the purpose of manipulation, that's not a revolutionary or a liberation tactic. That's an oppressor tactic.
Right.
So when we have individuals who attempt to change the situation and say that they want to make it better, but they use the oppressor's tactics.
So for like the people who didn't know what, because I know what he said about Aaron, and for the people who kind of hopping in, because we Mama Blue done. Good morning, Damien. We got some people that kind of hopped in. We were talking about the articles that Goliath Davis have written about the South Side of St. Pete.
Yes, and our education, our liberation struggle through education. Yes,
right.
And the opinions that he levied.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so it seems like an attack on the black educators.
Well, you haven't seen him write anything about Darlene Lebo.
No, because I'm just making it clear that this is what we're saying. Like, you know what I mean? And the views expressed of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. And if we are wrong, Goliath Davis, you are more than welcome to come and sit down, call in, Skype in on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club so we can clear up some of the articles that you read.
Yeah, school's in session for you too, former Deputy Mayor
and
Davis.
So since we know that he attacked Lakewood High School and blamed all the problems on the principal because a lot of the kids did not graduate, right? And we also know that we've talked about the graduation rate here. And yes, the schools can do more, but the parents need to do their parts as well. So it was a strictly attack on Aaron. because I read that article. I did not get to see the one that he did on Barry. So what did he say about Gibbs High School and Barry? Do you know?
Leopard don't change his spots.
So he is another attack, just saying how, and Barry has done really good stuff in this community. He was at John Hopkins, did very well there. The students definitely respect him. He comes in, he do his job, and he's a fine educator. And there's not a lot of black male educators
2%.
out there.
2% of all educators. 2% of all educators are American African males.
And so some conversations, I think, could be, if you feel like some stuff, either you're trying to critique to be helpful or you're trying to be hurtful.
Well, and the thing is that it's driven by class interests. That's the thing. I don't think people understand that, we are so beautiful a people. Mm-hmm. We are so warm a people that we tend to personalize things, and we miss the class dynamics that are of these things. We miss the fact that there is a entrenched old guard that has an interest in not turning over power,
right?
Because they fear what power will produce.
And Qiana say Barry Brown is well respected at Gibbs and does a wonderful job.
Most definitely. And the thing is that I don't think Chief Davis doesn't know that. I think he fully understands that. I think he's so class deaf. I think that he is so class impotent.
Can you hold that thought?
Yep.
Hold that thought, because it's like hard 8:00.
All right.
Boom. So we're going to come back and talk about some more of these articles and how we feel about the attack on our educators, especially the ones that look like us. Because we know that our kids need somebody that looks like us, that gives them compassion and consideration where they're not given that at all. Mm-hmm. So we're going to leave with that. And we're back like 7 minutes after the hour. We got the Ask Qiana. We got, we haven't did you, Would You Rather? We got a full packed hour coming up. So yes, tag a friend, tell a friend. And we'll be back 7 minutes after.
And don't miss the book of the day.
Yes.
Didn't diminish the Palestinian people's right to dignity and self-determination. He also warned Russia any attack against a NATO ally would lead to the United States defending every inch of the bloc's territory.
Same thing.
Our North America correspondent David Willis was listening to President Biden's speech.
Fresh from a whirlwind trip to Israel, President Biden sought to draw a link between two separate conflicts on two separate continents, which he said could have profound implications.
Hello, friends and neighbors of District 7 and the greater St. Petersburg community. Welcome to the District 7 newsletter. Today is 7/7/23, and we would like to take a few moments to review some of the achievements of our representative on the City Council, Brother John Mahamet. Over the past 9 months, Council Member Mohammed has worked diligently to uplift and support residents of our district by advocating for small businesses, addressing social justice issues, fostering community engagement, and so much more.
In this brief video presentation, we will share with you some of the work that is being done to build a stronger, more prosperous, and inclusive district.
But he can't do it alone. He needs your help. There are many ways you can get involved and make a difference right here in our community. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to take the District 7 survey and subscribe to our newsletter at www.d7speaks.com.
By subscribing, you'll be the first to know about upcoming events, initiatives, and opportunities to get involved. Together, we can continue to build a stronger, more inclusive District 7. And once again, we would like to thank you for your dedication to our community and taking a few moments to review a little bit of the work being done to create a brighter future for District 7.
Let us begin by highlighting Council Member Mohammed's commitment to supporting small businesses and promoting economic development. During Small Business Week, Brother John stood alongside Mayor Ken Welch, Council Chair Brandy Gabbard, and other members of the Council, as well as city staff, to announce the allocation of $1.35 million to support small businesses in South St. Pete. Councilmember Mohammed was also blessed to read a proclamation declaring Small Business Week during the launch of the Microfund Grant Program, which provides financial assistance to local entrepreneurs. Through these initiatives, we aim to foster economic growth and sustainability within our district.
Brother John also took time to meet with small business owners in our district, including a stop at the Tasty Treat Cafe, and participating in the ribbon-cutting ceremony of SIDS and the Catalyst on the Deuces. These establishments mark the opening of new spaces for meeting, collaboration, and contribute to the economic development of our district.
Recognizing the importance of a thriving business community, Council Member Mohammed is actively working with local business owners to organize the 49th Street Business Association. This initiative aims to unite local entrepreneurs, encourage collaboration, and support economic growth and development along the corridor.
Moving on to community engagement and outreach, Councilmember Mohammed has been actively participating in neighborhood association meetings, providing opportunities for residents to voice their concerns, share ideas, and work together towards community improvement.
He has also held several one-on-one meetings with constituents on various topics, in addition to hosting 2 town hall gatherings to ensure their voices are heard and their concerns are addressed effectively. This direct engagement with the community allows him to understand the needs of our district and work with others to find the best solutions.
Council Member Mohammed has also recognized the outstanding contributions of individuals through the Sunshine Ambassador Awards. These awards celebrate those who are making a positive impact in our community and inspiring others to follow in their footsteps.
In addition, he actively participated in outreach efforts with the Urban Affairs Department, is co-hosting regular community canvases and cookouts, while also attending community events to engage with residents, listen to their concerns, and work towards finding solutions that positively impact our community.
Council Member Mohammed is also a consistent advocate for social justice and community support. He recently attended the Florida for All Unity March and Rally, advocating for equality, justice, and the well-being of all residents. He attended the St. Pete Pride Parade with his family and participated in a flag-raising ceremony, while promoting inclusivity and celebrating diversity.
Councilmember Mohammed has actively participated in Juneteenth celebrations, mural reveal, flag-raising ceremonies, and other events commemorating the emancipation of enslaved individuals and highlighting the significance of African American history and culture.
Addressing the critical issue of mental health, he served as a panelist and has been a strong advocate for raising awareness and advocating for improved resources and support systems within our community.
Moreover, Councilmember Mohammed contributed to the State of Black St. Pete panel discussion, addressing the challenges, achievements, and future prospects of the Black community in our district. Councilmember Mohammed's commitment to interfaith dialogue, cultural understanding, and unity is exemplified by his participation in the 5th annual Iftar Dinner, the budding Black and Jewish community cohort, regularly meeting with faith leaders, and attending church services in the district, all while promoting peace, harmony, and mutual respect within our diverse community.
Education and youth empowerment are also at the forefront of Councilmember Mohammed's agenda. He has visited schools within our district, engaging with principals to discuss challenges, opportunities, and ways to enhance educational outcomes for our students.
Council Member Mohammed delivered the opening address at the St. Pete Strong Youth Conference, empowering young individuals and inspiring them to become leaders and positive agents of change. He also arranged a tour and shared words of encouragement to a youth group in the council chambers.
At the Keys to Manhood workshop, he delivered a keynote address emphasizing the importance of mentorship, personal growth, and character development.
And you are listening to
the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and I am Qiana.
And I am the intellectual gangster, your brother Donnie El Profesor.
Yes, and we are brought to you by the New Image Project, better known as
See That.
And we are
redefining what's cool.
Yes, because smart
is
the new
gangster.
Baby.
Definitely.
Okay, so if you were here the last hour, you caught what we were talking about, and we was talking about the articles that Goliath Davis has written about the South Side schools. And the attack, it feels like, that he's doing to the people of color that's in those in power at those schools, the people that are leading our children in there. And I believe in any good relationship. When it's good, you praise it. When it's bad, you call it out, right?
Definitely. Criticism and self-criticism is definitely a part of growth. It's definitely a part of revolutionary change. These are
Yeah.
Okay. These are constants that we have to adhere to. But criticism and self-criticism have to be substantial.
Right.
You can't give quote unquote criticism without substance, because criticism without substance is name calling. And in the world of logic, this is called an ad hominem attack. So whenever you make an attack, or whenever you make a position from logic and rhetoric, I'm a rhetorician, I do this for a living. Whenever you make an attack from that perspective linguistically, then you've already conceded the fact that you've lost the argument, because no longer can you talk to issues. Now you have to talk to people. And when you talk about people and not issues, then that means you've lost the argument. We have to learn how to think logically. We have to learn how to have better instructors of logic, so that we don't fall into the pitfalls that's usually given. Q, what we ask for is a dialogue.
Right.
We ask that from Tallahassee, that from the perch, from the overseer's position, from the guard tower, we ask that we don't have monologues, that we don't have slogans, that we don't have catchphrases, but we have dialogue. We're asking for participation.
A solution.
Solution.
So if you see a problem, because in this article, did he give any solution?
Q, attempting to liberate the oppressed without their participation is not an attempt at liberation at all, because then you see the oppressed as objects rather than as people. And whenever you do that, you are setting them up emotionally to be dependent on your perspective. It's a very interesting mind control tactic that you see a lot when they make trustees out of people in prison. See, the act of making a prison trustee is a psychological act. Foucault goes into this very, very deeply, because what you then say is, I'm going to make you a prisoner who's ignorant of the fact that you're a prisoner, which will make you ignorant of the fact that I'm a guard and that I represent state power, and that I've never stopped representing state power. There were a lot of arguments made, Q, very, very, in my opinion, very petty arguments. I'll only go into two right now.
Okay, go ahead.
The first, that a previous regime is somehow responsible for the regime that follows it. You see, you have to be very careful, because we as historians do not have the luxury of forgetting history. See, we remember when the previous regime of Chief Chuck Harmon, the chief who replaced his predecessor, Goliath Davis, we remember when he removed an entire crime scene. We remove when he called in a demolition crew to remove an entire house. We understand what obstruction of justice is. See, we know how to read.
All right.
So you have to be careful how you attach the role of a predecessor with the role of the person who preceded them. These kind of things are very important. That's one. The second is this. And I promised that I would not address this, so I'm really biting myself right now, and I'm proverbially shooting myself in the foot, but I just can't resist this one. You have to understand that people understand causality, right? There are causes that lead to effects,
right?
To mention that Chief Jones doesn't answer her phone after 5 o'clock is to attempt to say this N-word ain't working hard enough. You see, I read the articles that talked about how Chief Davis would get up at 4 a.m. and be the first person at work and the last one to leave, sometimes working 20 hours a day. That's commendable until you realize he got fired. So if you work 20 hours a day and establish yourself over a 3-decade career, and in both major roles, you get either voted out or you get fired, then maybe Chief Jones was watching your example and decided not to do what you did. Now, that's part one. Part two, to mention that Chief Jones vacations in the Dominican Republic with me and in Thailand is something I'm sure Chief Jones did not tell him. But let me tell you why he mentioned it. For the same reason why Steven on Django said, who is that there N-word on that nag? because it's matter out of place because you don't think. See, when you put handcuffs on people, you get really used to constricting their movements. When you put leg irons on people, you get really used to constricting their movements, and you think that an American African woman, that a black woman with a family should not have the right on no time that she's taking from him, should not have the right to travel the world. Well, let me tell you something, Chief. When you were still wiping pork chop grease off of your lips, Sister Danica Jones was being taught that the earth belonged to the black woman. See, you got to be careful how you call these things into existence, because Sister Danica Jones was in a household where her parents taught her that 196,940,000 square miles of earth are her domain. You don't tell a person where they can go when the world belongs to them. You see, we're the original people on this planet, so we have reign over the entire planet. So if we want to vacation in Timbuktu or in Kathmandu, we can go there. You see, the overworked overseer got fired. But what happened to the person who supposedly doesn't answer their phone after 5, which is something you should take up with her husband? Why should you be trying to call this woman after 5? That's the question you have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, what did 20-hour work days do for your marriage? See, these are the kind of things that you have to see. When we talk about protecting black women, then we also have to protect the family that these black women produce. Did you know that trip to Thailand was a research trip for a son who graduated summa cum laude? Did you know that, Chief Davis? Or were you just lurking on somebody's Facebook page trying to be the hater that you have been accused of being? You know what would have been bad, Chief Davis? If she would have recommended for a promotion somebody who was under investigation for being a drug dealer. That's what would have been bad, Chief Davis. See, it's very dangerous to do this kind of thing when you don't expect somebody to be able to fire back. But let me tell you something about this one. This one was taught very early how to fight for the person who doesn't have a voice. And see, when Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high.
You don't believe in it.
Qiana, when they go low, I turn to snake poop. I get real down with it. So just be careful. What I say is this. If you're going to be critical, be fair in your criticism.
And know your facts.
Know your facts.
So like you said, nobody told him. And then she's allowed to go on vacation.
Wherever she wants to go. But see, it's the overseer job. Listen, now this is Hoppin' John. This is the gun line, boss. We don't cross the gun line. This whole idea, this entire concept that you can restrict or should have the ability or should call in the merit of somebody from the restriction of that individual's movement is a petty bourgeois slave owning ideology. And listen, it ain't gonna fly here.
They say when they go low, I go to hell.
Come on now, Shayna, me and you both. So I don't want to waste too much time.
But no, this is definitely because you see the attack on people and professional people. So even if we put it in let's put it in the concept of like everyday working people and how they go and slave for a job, right? And then as soon as something goes wrong, that same job that you slave for cut you loose.
Yep.
You know, and the thing of your foundation that keeps you going, that you when you retire, that you need has been ruined because you have dedicated your whole life to a job or system, right? That does not care. So then you're telling her right now that she do not need to nourish her family. That her family is not worth her time.
Yes.
And then on top of that, they pay her for the time that she gives the job. And then she clocks out at a certain time. And once she clock out, that becomes her time and no longer the job time.
And it becomes her husband's time. You don't know what her husband discussed with her. You don't understand self-care because you come from a time where there was no self-care. And if you really want to look at reflecting, Chief Davis, and change over time, 1969, you graduated from St. Petersburg High School. They still got a green bench at St. Petersburg High School. Of all of the things that you can point out, you can't point out something that's worse than the Confederate flag and your own alma mater, but you feel as if you can castigate and you can speak any kind of way about individuals who try to work in the areas that they're in. It's cowardly. It's cowardly. But listen, we won't respond from a position of not having love for you.
Right.
We made a classroom for you. So just come sit down and learn. and be taught and be taught by somebody who knows what's going on. Either that, poop, or get off the pot.
Right. Or come home. Come home and talk to the people. Come home. You know what I mean? Get like if you really want to help, come on. Because like people that's at war, that's in the game, who got a bone in this fight is actually out here. We have these educators that's out here really trying to save our children's lives.
Come on now.
Right? That, you know, when you are a leader, you're not going to always do what's right. And everybody's not going to like the decision that you make. But I believe that everybody that you called out, that he called out, right? Really cares about this community. They're here in this community.
That's right.
They stick it out in this community.
Come on now.
They take all the hits for this community.
Come on now.
And then we forget to praise them for everything that they done. And the praise itself is that they stayed.
Come on now.
Is that they're here. We talk about the education system. We say how our educators are not paid what they're worth, right? We say how hard it is. We deal with these kids. We talk about how hard it is to raise these kids. We see the struggles out there, and we have people that's sitting out here working and trying to save their lives. How dare you sit on your pedestal
with the audacity
and then criticize and do not have a solution that's going to help.
You have monologues, you have slogans, and you have catchphrases. But you too are not above education. And maybe had you had a Barry Brown, a Jennifer Gill, a Caprice Edmond, or Danica Jones, maybe then you would have the understanding to understand that you still have a lot to learn, sir.
Yes. So, with that being said, I'm going to end that with a round of applause. Applause to the educators that's here.
Right on. Right on.
You know, the ones that's in the paint, that's trying to make a difference.
Yes.
And then taking it for everybody, telling them what they should and shouldn't do, but they're not doing it with them.
Come on now.
They're sitting on the sideline judging something that they refuse to get into. So
how you gonna hate from outside the club?
Yeah.
You can't even get in.
So with that being said, thank you for all our Black educators.
Right
thank you for the Southside St. Pete educators, right?
Yes.
The ones who's taking these hits because, you know, it's hard out here.
Yeah,
and
for those who know the value of self-care.
Right.
For those who understand the value of mental health. And for those who are working double time as parents, as wives, as mothers, and as parents in this system.
And you know what? That's success in itself. When you can leave your job and your children are still there.
Come on now.
And your husband or wife is still there.
Come on now.
And you have somebody that can wipe the tears away when it's been a hard day, or just to give you the back rub, rub your feet and say, hey, at 5 o'clock, you off.
Yeah, that phone. That phone. You don't answer no phone calls after that.
Listen, you did what you need to do, and now it's time for us to do what we need to do.
Come on now. Right on.
All right. So yes. So
and they didn't stop issuing passports to people who work in education. Just let you know that.
No, right. They did not. So yes. Would you rather?
Would you rather? Oh, here we go.
Would you rather?
Would you rather make me nervous every time you say those 3 words?
Would you rather? Oh, somebody's calling. We got a caller. Hello, caller. Introduce yourself. Hello. Hello. All right, caller, I'm hanging up. Wait, let me see. Hold on. Sometimes. Nope. All right, I'm hanging up. Call right back. See if we can get it to work.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. So, would you rather? I'm not even saying, what did I have for the would you rather?
It was, would you rather be hunted down?
Oh, this is, now.
How appropriate.
Would you rather be hunted down by the police for a crime you did not commit, or hunted by a serial killer? Now, Alex, I'm going with the serial killer because it's an even playing field.
I think it's an even playing field too. Q, is Halloween season.
It is.
And everybody, one of the best things about Halloween is the characters that keep reoccurring in film and in television and in lore, right? Mm-hmm. And people were saying,
Shayna say neither.
I guess they can all be considered serial killers in that genre, right? Because all of them just.
But you know what? They don't. So in the movies, they never die. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger.
So my question to you is this: would you rather be hunted down by one of them, by Leatherface, by Michael Myers, by Jason Voorhees, by Freddy Krueger, by Pennywise? Which I never understood why people are afraid of clowns.
So I'm going to tell you, I don't. So Freddy Krueger, I'm staying away from. Only because he come into my dreams. Damien just said Goliath Davis playing on the phone. The views expressed is the viewers.
I don't blame him. Blame him. If I was Goliath, I would try to get in his classroom too. So I got you. Yes, sir. So would you rather be hunted down by one of them or by a real person?
So, all right. I don't want Freddy Krueger. And let me tell you why. It's because I like my sleep. And I would be really angry as soon as I close my eyes.
Freddie was scary when we were kids, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Freddie would so Halloween is coming up, right? But yeah, I would be really angry if Freddie came.
Okay.
And yeah.
Now that's over Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees or Pennywise or Leatherface.
But see, this is the thing is, none of them ever die. I don't care what you do to them. Like, none of them ever die. So as soon as you kill them off, they're like cats. They pop back up.
I think it just
What about Candyman?
Listen, Candyman is the coolest of all. Candyman is a very interesting thing. Candyman is the coolest to me of all of the supernatural scary beings. Because Candyman was a ghost, right? Like he was a ghost that was trapped in the mirrors because of everything. But he has to be the hardest out of all of them because Elm Street is in a pretty neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And what was it Lake Placid? Was that where Jason was, right? Wasn't it Lake Placid or something like that? Okay. And then Michael Myers was in a neighborhood, right? It was suburbs, middle class, right? Mm-hmm. Candyman stayed in Caprini Green. This man stayed in the projects. So if you a ghost and you stay in the hard, Candyman was on O Block before anybody else was talking about O Block. Candyman was on the drill back in the early 90s. I would have to say Candyman is probably the hardest and coolest. And he had a gripe with like the power structure, right? Because it was an interracial relationship that made Candyman, right? Candyman was like, all right, I'm gonna get all y'all with a hook. And listen, you gotta love this guy, man. So I think Candyman was probably the coldest villain. But if I had to be chased by somebody, it would be one of those villains, especially like a Candyman, because I won't get in the mirror and say Candyman. What's 3 times or 5? 3. Yeah, I won't get in the mirror and say Candyman 3 times. I'll let Candyman stay right there. So
Shannon say, why does he know the exact place? Because he's a historian. And Damon say, I'd rather be chased by all of them other than child support. Them killing me. Their killers will find you anywhere.
You got a point. That's the comedian. That's comedian Damien Davis, folks. That's our own, who will be performing in the Improv at the Tampa Improv in December.
Yes. And if you have not saw his comedy special,
yes,
please go see it. I can't remember. Damien, call in because you know you're good for it.
Let us know.
And so they can go ahead and get Oh, and let me say this. My niece Maddie is listening.
All right.
Right? So, yes, have a great day at school, Maddie.
Have a fantastic day, Maddie.
Yes. So, good morning.
Yes, most definitely. So I think that's what I would have. I think probably I would go with
I'll go to the serial killer. Because then I feel like it's even playing field. If because we're not promoting violence, but if I have to save my life, I'd rather save my life against them, because then I'm not going to get prosecuted, right? Because if a cop is doing it, we done seen how that ends, right?
Yeah,
and they kind of above the law, right?
Yeah,
so,
to a degree.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get his thing. Go ahead and purchase it on the Eventbrite. He put the link in the chat.
Thank you so very much.
Good morning, Fancy Nancy.
That is the comedian Damian Davis. The comedian Damian Davis.
Yes,
Fantastic.
and yes, and yes. So, are you participating in Halloween?
Don't know. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on if the sand gnats are biting. Now, how St. Pete is that cute that the sand gnats outside, for those who aren't from the area, who aren't from from Florida, really, where it gets really humid, we have a thing called sand gnats. That they're gnats, but people call them can't see them too, because they bite you and it hurts like the dickens.
Yeah, because you don't see them.
You don't see them. Yeah.
They hear me like popping my hand.
listen. When I said that, it was people that started scratching. Like, you know that you from the hood, and they seem to gather in the hood. They're not mosquitoes at all. You can see mosquitoes. These little jokers, though, I mean, they bite hard.
They're aggravating.
Oh, they are terrible. They are terrible. They've ruined the many young people opportunity to try to boo up with their girlfriend outside, hugged up. Both of y'all getting bit. But it depends on how the sand gnats are doing. If the sand gnats are doing good, because I usually try to always have candy for individuals. I think any time for a young person to be able to celebrate their childhood is a good time.
I think anybody to celebrate their childhood, we forget the freedom it is to be youthful.
Yes,
right.
Indeed.
We take life so serious. So, like, I'm one of them corny people. I want to dress up as all characters. I want me and my boo to be, listen.
But you're a Libra, though. Libras like that. Libras love the party.
Oh.
Libras love a good time, boy. Y'all don't ever want to come off the dance floor, but y'all also want everybody else to party too.
Yes.
So y'all want everybody in the party. It's not wrong with it.
But the good thing is that, like, we like this. I know for me, I like to set a good atmosphere, right? I want everybody to be happy. So I want to set it up so everybody enjoy it, not just me. Hello, caller. Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on? It's
Good morning.
Comedian.
Good morning, my brother Donnie. Yeah, you subscribe to TV, TV. And sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. So you subscribe, hit them, they come right up. And I put the link in there for the Improv tickets, and everything. Okay. And I'm just so ramped up this morning. I had to pin on my new balance. I heard Danny talking crazy. I thought I had to come up there. You know what I'm saying? He said a lot of days. All that. I was like, well, I just watched from the house. So I ain't trying to go back to jail. I ain't got no money. Like, my money ain't set up to get buzzed out just like that.
But you was ready. If you had
we just go talk from the government.
Thank you so very much, D. Thank you so very much, bro.
We just gonna be back. I got your bike, dog. I'm ready. I got you.
You the one in
the enough artillery on
you. So you the one from the stands.
Don't do better like that. You see a rock come and hit him in the head. You know where it's
Right on, brother.
I love y'all, man.
Man, likewise.
Keep inspiring, man. Y'all do what y'all do.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being ours, bro.
December 3rd, Tampa Improv, and you can subscribe at TV. Sometimes I feel like it's night. Sometimes I don't.
All right. Boom.
Yeah. A perennial supporter of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. He and his family have always been on the front and at the tip of the spear to support.
Always. We got mad respect for them.
Definitely.
So, tomorrow, Urban Inc. has a game night.
Okay.
So register. It's free. So come on out, but you got to dress up. It's a Halloween contest. Come on out. We're going to have fun. If you have never been to an Urban Inc. Event, you're missing out. We do some of the best events, right? I always say that. Maybe I'm a little biased, but you're going to have a great time. Also, the Blue Bay Inn is on 34th Street this year, right? Since we're talking about Halloween, this is another community event, and we'll probably have to get Tron in so he can kind of tell his story because it's so inspiring. Like, he loves Halloween. Absolutely loves Halloween. He was at Busch Gardens. He built one of their stages over there, and he wanted to show his kids the experience about Halloween.
Yes.
And he knows that everybody in the neighborhood can't afford to go to the haunted houses.
Yes.
So he started to build his own.
Come on now.
So on 34th Street, if you see it, you'll see the Boo Bay Inn. It is being hand built by Tron, who came up with it. He do this every year. And if you've been through that haunted house, it's pretty scary.
See, this is the genius that should be accentuated by individuals who come from a time that's long gone. They should sit back and they should do what you're doing right now, Q, to raise up that genius, because with the craftsmanship, the ability to be able to lay out the plan. See, you can't just build something. If you've ever built something, you can't just build something. You have to have a plan. This is applied mathematics. This is applied science. This is applied STEM. You need people like Raphael Robinson. You need people like Jermaine Mitchell. You need individuals to teach these things, and you need to support these individuals while they do these things. And you need to support the leadership who backs these individuals while they do these things, because you can't just build a haunted house.
And he builds it. The whole thing. It's a maze. The whole thing. He gets characters. Everybody coming out. Nancy say, man, I dressed up as a nun and they rolled me to the gods. I haven't dressed up since I was about 13. And I'm sure I just lived a little. Okay, so here we go. Nancy, dress up this year.
As a nun.
No, yeah, you could. So listen, you could dress up as a nun. You could do whatever you want. So I'm thinking I want to be Cruella DeVille.
Okay. You gonna do the dye and everything?
Yeah, I'm definitely like, or I don't know, or I'm playing with it.
Cruella was the first boss chick in the animated industry, man. Cruella DeVille was cold. Like she drive a Cadillac. She drove something that was long and
Cruella
and ridiculous.
Yeah, something real big. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like, but yeah, to accept and understand the genius that it takes to create these things gives us a great appreciation for the educators, like the Bob Medicis, you know, who have drafting classes, like the Mr. Coney, when we were at Bogsega, Mr. Coney, who didn't teach drafting. He didn't just teach engineering and design, but he also had an entire hobby airplane community that he did with Eduardo Jordan, who was another genius who comes from our same
right, because he's an amazing chef,
and
he took his palate to a whole nother level.
Come on now.
I don't even know if I could eat some of the stuff because my palate ain't that defined.
Right, you got Rajah Flanoy, an amazing chef.
Right,
you know, you got people who come out of these schools, Johnny Newsoms. You have people who come out of these schools who share their genius and their expertise with the world, and they don't come from nothing. See, when you believe that individuals are not made by the conditions that produce them, then you believe in magic. You think people just come from nothing. These people don't come from nothing.
I believe in magic.
Right on.
Just like Nike, just do it.
Yeah, you know, one thing about oppressed people, Q, is that we have the tendency to believe the worst about ourselves.
Right.
You know, and we have the tendency to ingest the worst about ourselves. And this was the danger. It wasn't literal, it was figurative. It was literal too, but it was figurative. But this was the danger of having a bad diet. Because when you are willing to believe that you deserve to eat the worst of things, then you'll believe that you deserve to be the worst of things, because you believe that you deserve the worst of things as your culture. And that's just not the truth. This is one reason why there was such, and there still is such a great prohibition on the wanton eating of pork. It wasn't necessarily always a nutritional thing. It was that you eat something that lives off corruption, and you ingest that, and you take the ideas of that thing that it lives off corruption, and you use that for your nourishment. Be careful whenever you're dealing with anything that comes from a pig. because a pig lives off of the corruption that it produces. You can put a pig in a mansion and the pig will urinate and defecate in that mansion because it needs corruption to exist. Everything that comes from that swine will be with the character of that swine. Be careful how you ingest things that come from pigs.
So I'm going to tell you, do not dress up as a pig for Halloween. Do not dress up as a pig. So yeah, so all right, so we have Urban Ink. It's a free event. Come out, get registered, go to the Eventbrite. Now, big for us. If you haven't heard, please share the word. We want all our listeners and everybody else to come in, tune in Wednesday. Now we want you to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes.
Definitely do. But we have Beanie Man coming in. He's Skyping in from Jamaica. Now, listen, the show started early and know that they're like an hour behind. So he's getting up extra early to come in and tune in with us and to talk to us. So let's show them how St. Petians do it. Or the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Come show them some love. Talk to him, chat with him, because I'm excited.
Yes, and all of our family, all our Jamaican family, all our family from the West Indies, all our family from St. Thomas, all our family from Barbados, all our family from Bahamas, all our family from Cuba and Puerto Rico, all our family from the Dominican Republic, all our family from Haiti. We're all one people, all our family from Guyana, all our family from Grenada, all of our family. Let's get all in this thing. Let's not miss this at all, y'all.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'm excited about it. Fancy Nancy say Bay Area Women Empowerment Expo, a small business showcase this Saturday at PTEC. Well, it's no longer called PTEC.
Right. It's PCC, right? What is it? PC. We don't. I don't know.
We don't want to mess it up. But if your mama named you Clash's Clay,
it's still people call it Votec, y'all. Yeah. Going down to the Votec.
Right on 34th Street. If you know where it's at, you'll see it. If you don't, I don't know the address. If one of our address people out there that can tag it, let it know. But if you ride by, it's right across the street from Gibbs High School.
You know it is.
And then it has the trucking school. Do you see the trucks? Right there. So yeah.
And that's what we'll need, guys.
Pinellas Technical College.
Pinellas PTC. Okay.
Yes, and that's what it is.
That's what we'll need. We'll need individuals now to get their CDLs and not necessarily just become interstate truckers, but get a dump truck. Because this city is going to be growing exponentially for the next 35 years. That is going to be the play. Get that education, grab that dump truck, and let's start being involved in haul. You got to haul away a whole stadium.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, be creative.
That's it.
If God give you the vision, be creative with it. Because there's so many ways to make money. And I know when our returning citizens come in, it's hard for them to get regular jobs.
Come on now.
Regular 9-to-5, good paying jobs that'll keep them out of the system.
Yes.
But nobody can tell you can't be an entrepreneur.
Come on now.
Nobody can tell you that your dreams has to stop right here because you are a felon or you are a returning citizen. And figure out an idea, plan it, write it down, execute it.
And nobody can tell you so that you have to believe it. But that takes us to the book of the day.
Okay, go ahead.
The book of the day is brought to you by the Barbershop Book Club. The Barbershop Book Club offers a free book to all young people who come in to receive haircuts. See our brother, amazing support of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, be a part of his support. Our brother, Antonio Brown, who was for many years and still is, I consider to be a mentor, not just as an athlete that I came up under, but as an individual who has the kind of character and the kind of presence that I greatly admired and greatly modeled my character and presence from and off of. The book of the day is by Jason Stanley. It's titled How Propaganda Works. How Propaganda Works. There's a concept Adolf Hitler was really good at bringing up. He called it the big lie. He says that when you feed the people the big lie, the more you feed the people the big lie, the more they enjoy believing it. So very appropriate for today's political climate, today's social climate, and today's show's climate is the impact of propaganda. What propaganda is it the manipulation of facts, events, and history so that an underlying agenda is presented in a manner and a form that it can be believed.
Mm-hmm.
When you said, no one can stop you from being an entrepreneur, this is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's much anti-entrepreneur propaganda out there that will tell you can't do it. You got 2 strikes. You're a felon. You don't have the intelligence. You weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't know how to do it. That's too hard. All of these lies that guide you to eventual decisions based on a lie are propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's a segment of the world who somehow believes that the Israeli Defense Forces, that have one of the most advanced militaries on the planet Earth, somehow cannot mistake a hospital for a military compound. That's very interesting. And I'll tell you something too on this idea of propaganda. Propaganda can be based in any lie. It doesn't just have to be based in a political lie. No. It can be based in a religious lie. At one time, there's a thing called the slave Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So at one time, propaganda was given from the pulpit. And it was that you shouldn't want liberation because slaves must obey their masters. So if a person will manipulate how he treats you, he definitely will manipulate how he teaches you. If a man won't treat you right, he won't teach you right. Come on now. So
we've been taking you to church today.
Listen. And that is the absolute truth. Please get this book, How Propaganda Works. Understand the game that they're running on us. They just bombed the hospital that was bombed in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Christian hospital. It's one of the oldest hospitals to ever exist. Because when Christian communities began in the Jerusalemic church shortly after the departure of Jesus, one of the things that they offered people was healthcare. They said, listen, we want to help you. And they built this hospital in Palestine. Bethlehem is in Palestine. It's a Palestinian city. Jesus is Palestinian. But because people buy into the propaganda,
people will believe a dressed up lie than the butt naked truth.
And a lie can fly around the world while the truth is still putting on his shoes. So please understand how propaganda works, because this is a fantastic topic for now. There's nowhere in the world that we shouldn't have heard from Christian Palestinians. Notice they talk about Israelis, they talk about Palestinians, they talk about Muslims, and they talk about Jews. But why haven't we heard about the Christians in Palestine? Why isn't anybody even asking that question? Why isn't anybody asking about the churches that Israel is bombing? When Christians are in the United States and they're saying we support Israel, but they're bombing churches, why aren't we asking these questions? It's because propaganda has been worked on us. And when you know how propaganda works, you understand how to catch the big lie as it comes. Good thing.
Show the book again.
So the book is How Propaganda Works. And don't think it's just limited to international affairs. Propaganda also works by trying to tell people that somehow black people are lazy because they turn their phone off at 5, or somehow black people are lazy because they go on vacations from work. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. So get the book of the day. I don't know. I haven't seen you be on there. Usually he throw it up there.
Yeah.
If we have somebody on there can pull it up, tell them where they can purchase the book at. Let them know. So yes, purchase the book. Good book to read. So the other Breakfast Club, because there's another one.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Da, 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 da. DJ Envy has been arrested. If you don't know who DJ Envy is, he's on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and God. And him and his partner Caesar has been charged with a Ponzi scheme.
What now? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. I heard that wrong. I'm sorry.
Right, with a Ponzi scheme. So we're going around doing seminars about real estate. It sounded like it wasn't true. They're taking money, and now they are busted. I know DJ Envy said that because it really was Caesar's company. right? And then he kind of came in as kind of the face, from my understanding, and now he's kind of caught up in the whole gist of everything, right? DJ Envy is saying like he was bamboozled by it like everybody else. He wanted to, give the gift of game to the people, right? Which end up being us, the urban community.
Yes.
To try to expand their game. Okay. And then we find out that these people were taken advantage of.
Yeah, it's cold world out there. You have to understand that usually Ponzi schemes, though, they tend to take advantage of greedy people. Usually Ponzi schemes tend to take advantage of people who for some reason believe that they're entitled to get something for nothing. I'm not saying that this happened in this particular case. Every case definitely is an individual. Look, you gotta look in yourself and make sure that you didn't think that you were scheming.
Well, no, but see, so when they offer you and say, hey, we can help you buy a house, and you're not educated on it, and home ownership is something that you dream of,
right?
And then you see somebody that you trust, per se, and this is the power of celebrity.
Yeah, that's a game,
right?
Yeah, that's the game.
Is that once you hear people and you see them, you think that they're your third distance cousin, right? Is that like them in some type of way, and because the stories and you can relate to them, that they're gonna tell you the truth. You know what I mean? And if they did it, then I can do it too. Everybody wants their piece of the pie. You know what I mean? Everybody wants the American dream. If I could buy a house and then flip it and get another one, and then I no longer struggle. And then just think, these are life savings that people put together, and that usually they would be a little bit more hesitant with it, because they know this is their life savings. But then you have somebody who is a multimillionaire that's flipping houses and doing all this, coming to you, and you see them on your TV, listen to them on your radio quite often, tell you how you can be something like him. You believe it. Go ahead, caller. Introduce yourself.
Good morning. How you doing, Miss Q? How you doing, brother?
Good morning, Yubi.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this thing with DJ Envy, though, and there's gonna be more of these things happening, is that they actually was taking shots at another brother, which was Jay Morrison, who was promoting real estate, as y'all know, and then he wasn't. It ain't that these people don't know what they talking about; it's that they not doing what they saying. So that's how the people are getting their heads slapped. So that's where those dressed up lies come up, because they give you a little bit of the truth, but then they dress it up with a bunch of lies, and then you fall for the unbelievable. The thing of it is that this also happened with a couple of those type of cryptocurrencies. You're going to see people start to get indicted for that, because the celebrities will tell you to invest in this, like they put their money in there, but they're not putting their money in there. And then you put your money in there thinking, oh, this crypto coin or this and that is going, and then your money's gone.
Because they are the influencers.
Yeah,
right. They are the influencers. So that's what it's not because DJ Envy. I don't think he actually. They said he actually did nothing wrong. They saying he actually, his influence helped feed the Ponzi scheme of the guy that actually was ripping people off. So that just goes to be careful of the information that you hand off, or that you partner up with, or that you give off, because it could be incorrect information, and then now you held accountable because you promoted it.
And he started saying he started to take ownership of what he was doing. If he would have just been a guest speaker and giving his knowledge, he started
promoting
as himself. Like, you could promote something and say, hey, I'm going to be here, boom, 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 and you give them your part. But when you then attach yourself to it, because you done been places where you done been a guest speaker, and then you walk away, you give your part. This is what I bring to the table. Boom. I ain't eating nothing else at the table. I'm gone. Boom, 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 boom. But he then aligned himself with the guy.
Right.
And DJ Envy say that he didn't collect any money.
No.
I don't think he say he don't collect no money, and I don't think he did either. But it was another guy that Tony the Closer. He started speaking on that, and It's another guy that's real good. He got a little podcast and a little show called JT Pocket Watching, where they analyze all these people and they expose these people of so you don't get ripped off or so you don't be victim to this. And they expose them one by one as they get the evidence, and they put the evidence out there that they put together. One of them is an attorney and the other guy's, I don't know what he is. I think he's an accountant. But they give you the information so you can not fall for the schemes or not fall for the hype line and invest your money. The dude, Jay Morrison, his whole Tulsa real estate fund, that just fell apart. All those people basically lost all of their money. The same thing.
So it was a black version of Whitewater. It was black water.
Yeah, it was muddy water. Money.
Right on.
But I just wanted to make this comment that listen, man, if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it ain't. Most times it's not. And there's no elevator to success. You got to take the stairs. You got to do it one step at a time. So if it's a idea or something that's popping off and they saying, hey, we can do this overnight and be overnight millionaires, understand that if it was that simple, it wouldn't be there for them. Why God picked them and not you?
I mean, you got to work hard at everything that you get. Like, I mean, regardless.
I'm not saying you got to work hard, but I'm saying it's got to be steps. You work smart and not hard.
So let me say you work for everything you get. Let me say that because I'm one of the people that believe working smart and not hard. Like I will tell you, now I done worked hard before, but I work more smart now.
Yeah, because hard work don't guarantee nothing but a soul back in the never mind.
All right. Bye, you mean.
All right, do we have time? Do we have time for a very, very brief Ask Qiana?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
We got 5 minutes, so very brief.
Dear Qiana, our mother just turned 75 and she's in good health. I threw a big birthday celebration to honor this amazing woman. My brother and I were adopted as infants. She gave us a fabulous childhood and we grew up to be responsible adults. My brother, who's retired, lives 6 miles from mom, but he never goes to see her or offers any help. And he thinks a daily phone call is enough. He didn't even show up for a birthday party. I live 40 miles away from mom. I leave early for work to spend time with her each morning. My brother and I do not talk. So how do I get the point across that he needs to spend time with her?
You can't. But go ahead.
If I mention it to mom, she constantly makes excuses for his behavior. What can I do?
You can't. He a grown adult. I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is do what you do. You can't tell other grown adults what they should do. You may not agree with their decisions, but that's his decision. It may not make you feel good. You just can't. I mean, honestly, I wish I had like a magic wand that I could tell you can give him a potion and he wakes up and see it. He has to want to do it for himself. He has to want to take the time out. If he feel like one call a day is good and your mama okay with your mama's not complaining. So this is the thing is sometimes we get in the complaint line for other people when they okay. You just think that you got to go save them when they don't need to be saved.
That's it.
Your mother's not complaining whatsoever. So yeah, you're making an issue that may not be an issue. You just know what you do and you feel like he's not matching your energy. But what you're doing is for you and your mother, not to compete with your brother and not to pull him up to where you at. So you keep doing you, he gonna keep doing him. And unless your mother is complaining, it's not a problem.
Got it.
So yeah, that's the Ask Qiana. Real quick. You agree?
I agree.
Okay, so all right, 3 minutes left. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Stay tuned because we got Sister Hughes.
Yes. She gonna make you dance out your shoes.
Yes.
Shout all around the house.
Yes, lose your shoes with Sister Hughes.
That's it.
It's coming up next. What is your final thoughts?
My final thought is beware what you take in. Everything is not meant to be ingested. And there's a reason why if we didn't buy pork, our enemy would give it to us for free. It's because you cannot trust what comes from a pig.
All right. So be the change you want to be or see. Right? Enjoy this weekend. It's great weather.
It is.
So enjoy it because usually it's really hot. It ain't that cold right now. So It has been cold days, like boom. But right now it's cool in the morning, nice weather during the day. So enjoy it. Find something that made you smile, giggle, feel good. You know, I'm gonna say write down those 5 things or more.
That's it.
Yes, and we are out.
Have a fantastic weekend.
This has been Qiana,
and this is the Intellectual Gangster, your brother Dinah the Professor,
and this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
With me, Stephen Sackur. Presumably, President Joe Biden flew to the Middle East because he believed he could achieve something positive in the midst of the war between Israel and Hamas.